It looks like a dungeon. These people were stored like surplus meat in the basement.
It looks like a dungeon. Those words from a Philadelphia police spokesman describing the filthy and cramped basement boiler room where 4 mentally disabled adults were reportedly held captive for weeks. Watch.
Quite simply, this case just makes you shake your head. I mean, it's despicable and unspeakable.
They were found over the weekend by the owner of the building in which the captives were being held. And tonight we have breaking news in this case as a 15-year-old Florida girl missing since July is found alive. And get this, she's reportedly linked to one of the captor's sons. The girl's relieved mother, Juana Rodriguez, talked to CNN affiliate WPBF. Take a look.
You've been worried since July 4th. Tell us how you feel right now.
I can breathe. I can breathe now because she's doing good. I can breathe. She's okay. I just want to hold her and love her and just, I don't know. I just want to hold her. I just want to hold her.
You know, folks, this case, we see horrific cases every day, unfortunately, in this country. But this case just shocks the conscience. Listen to the conditions they were under. They were in a room that reeked of urine. It was too low for an adult to stand up in. The mattress and blankets were in the room, but there was a little bit of food found in this room, maybe a little bit of orange juice. All these adults sharing this room with dogs. These are the conditions that they were in. Joining me now with insight into the events unfolding in Philadelphia, clinical psychologist Lisa Boesky, and we've also got Sarah Hoy, a correspondent for CNN now. Sarah, let's first talk about this missing teen. Thank goodness she was found. She was apparently connected to the same captors who abducted the mentally disabled adults.
That's right. We were told earlier and even last night that this 15-year-old who was missing since July was found among the folks who were the suspects in this. Now, they're not exactly sure as to how they kind of came together or what exactly she was doing here. Police do believe, though, she moved here and she was somewhat of the girlfriend or friend or somehow befriended one of the suspect's children. So she has been in the Philadelphia area since August and has been missing since July in Florida.
And Sarah, how did they come into contact with these mentally challenged adults? How were they able to take them and put them in this room?
Well, that's kind of the mystery in all of this. The police do have such a big investigation to do. Some details they are keeping close to the chest because they do have to go to trial with this information. However, it does seem as though the ringleader in this case, Miss Weston, has been doing things of this nature possibly since the 90s. What we do know is that she's somewhat of a predator of types, goes after people who are perhaps vulnerable, somehow gets them to trust her, and the rest is history. So here you have these 4 people found in deplorable conditions in that basement here in Philadelphia. One of the women, one of the victims who was rescued, if you will, has been missing in Philadelphia since 2005. So her family now knows that she's safe.
Goodness. And thank goodness for the Philadelphia building owner who found these people. But he talked about how he made this horrific discovery. He talked to CNN. Take a look.
I am the one who cut the chain and they let the man free.
What were they saying to you? Did they say thank you? Did they say help?
No, they weren't talking anything. They were half dead, almost.
A person chained to a boiler. You know, Lisa, I'm trying to wrap my head around this because I'm trying to imagine, and maybe you can help us with this, what kind of a person, what kind of people would do this? I understand that there's the money part in all this, but this goes far beyond what we can imagine.
It is. Well, she really is the epitome of what we call a predator. And what's interesting is we always think of men as these predators, but she's a woman and she's just as evil. It's all for personal gain. She's really treating, with her accomplices here, these individuals, they're humans just like you and I, as if they have no emotions, as if they have no soul, treating them worse than you would treat an animal. This is an evil person, and I think 30 years ago she starved a man to death and went to prison for that. So this is a long long-term strategic thing that she has done. She has planned this out and did it very smartly. She's gone from state to state. She's moved them when she thought she was going to get figured out. So it shows she's smart, she's evil, and we don't see a lot of evil people. Sometimes people do bad things. This woman is the epitome of an evil predator.
It looks like pure evil. And, you know, Sarah, talk to us about her past. And not only that, they're now trying to say that this is linked to possibly, 10, maybe 50 or so missing people all over the country?
That's right. Police earlier today said that this may even have more victims than that original 50, because what happened was when they did arrest her, they found at least 50 pieces of identification, birth certificates, power of attorney forms, IDs. So they are in the process of going through all these pieces of identification and finding out who's who does this belong to, where are those people, how was she involved in this? And like you had just said, in the 80s, Weston was convicted, where the boyfriend of her sister basically starved to death in a closet. So she was convicted and did serve 8 years. And obviously she was out and able to do the things that we see now.